All right, so as soon as we walk into the tribunal ceremony, Kara, Wes, D immediately start digging into Bear, okay? Now, they're going at it with him, and he's giving it back to them, and they just arguing and talking over each other, and it's just a bunch of back and forth, right? And me, whenever Bear and I don't win a challenge, I immediately start mentally preparing myself to go into elimination, period. You know what I'm saying? So this is the mindset that I'm in. I'm not arguing with them. I'm not going back and forth with nobody in this tribunal. I literally am just going to stand here, let y'all have whatever y'all have to say, and then I'm going to walk out of here and be prepared to go into battle. While all of this arguing is going on, I tell Bear, I'm like, look, let them say whatever it is that they got to say. Let them get it off their chest, and then the floor is yours. Then you can say whatever it is that you want to say. Like, agreed? And for once, you know, my partner listened to me. He said, okay, I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to let them talk, right? So he shut up. We stood there, and Kara dug into him, D dug into him, Wes dug into him, and he stood there and took all of that. They belittled, they degraded him, they said everything under the moon to him, okay? And he stood there and took it. So when they were finished, he said, are you guys done? And they said, yeah, we're done talking. And so then Bear started talking. And the second he started talking, Kara turned to D and was like, you know what? I don't really have to listen to this. So what are you going to wear tonight? Because I'm going to wear this tonight. And I said, hold the hell up. Hold up. Y'all stand here and y'all have all of this anger towards him because he's so disrespectful. Last time I checked, if you want respect, you have to give respect. That's how it's earned. I said, now, if we're going to be in here as adults and we're going to talk to each other respectfully, the way he just stood here and let y'all say all this shit to him, y'all can stand here and let him say what he has to say and not be so disrespectful. D was like, you're right, Davon. You're right. I'm going to do it for you. And then Wes nodded at me in agreement. Kara had a stank ass look on her face because she was mad that I said something. Because I guess it caught her off guard because for so long I had just let the shit that they were saying to Bear just go. And I was just tired of it. Like, I was so sick of people just saying whatever the fuck they wanted to say to him. You don't like him, that's cool, but he's still a person. Like, there's still a whole ass human. And you can't just be talking at folks. Like, if you know me, that is my biggest pet peeve. We can talk to each other, but the minute you start talking at me, that's when I'm probably just gonna be like, okay, look, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like for people to talk at other people. So when I was noticing that was going on, that's why I decided to step up. And so Bear gets on my nerves too, but he's still a human being. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, in this tribunal, I think it was D asked me, she was like, Davon, would you trade your partner? And without thinking, I was like, yeah, hell yeah. You know what I mean? But when I said it, I didn't mean it as I would trade my partner for somebody in this, game. I meant I was ready to play by myself. So yeah, I would trade his ass in so he could be solo and I can be solo. That's where I was coming from. But after it came out of my mouth, I looked over at Bear and Bear's whole face was just, oh, his feelings were so hurt and I felt like shit. I felt so bad. I felt horrible. I felt so bad because I've never seen him look like that. That one statement right there, you could tell it broke him. And I felt terrible. I felt like that one statement hit him more than everything everybody in the tribunal was saying to him. And I felt like all the shit, okay? And I literally spent like that whole week making it up to him. Like, I was like, partner, like I was kissing him all over his face, like everything. Because I really felt bad because I knew exactly how he took it. And that wasn't what I meant when it came out of my mouth. But anyway, yeah, so that happened. Bear said something and they started going at it again. And then that's when Wes jumped down, right? And then I think after Wes jumped down and got in Bear's face, that's when he left. So now Bear is out of the room. And this is when you guys see me talking to them by myself. And I say, if you guys keep us in the game, then you have an ally. And at this point, I'm only talking to the other two teams. I'm not talking to D and Wes. And I wasn't lying because I was aligned. Well, Bear and I were aligned with, Turbo, not so much Nani, but Turbo. And then when it came to Theo and Kara, there was an alliance there with Theo and Bear. You know what I mean? So that was a very solid statement. And so when I said, if you keep us in the game, you'll always have an ally, Cara goes, well, I don't really know about that. You say that, but I don't believe it. Now, mind you, I already know. I have the knowledge that Paulie is trying to get me and Bear out of this game, okay? So the fact that she's speaking up to question my loyalty, like, this is your man. So I know you know the plan. You feel what I'm saying? But the fact that you're speaking up to question my loyalty, I want to hear what you have to say. So I said, why do you say that? And she goes, well, you've been very open saying you'll never say Kyle's name. So if it came down to Kyle and Paulie, what would you say? I said, why are we talking about Kyle? Why is Kyle's name being mentioned in my tribunal ceremony? And she goes, well, I'm the one who's standing up here, so I get to ask the questions. I said, you're up there because of Theo. Let's be all the way clear. And so she got that dumbass look on her face. And then I was like, girl, are you done? And she was like, yeah. And I looked at everybody else. I said, we done here? And then I walked out. But I was just like, where did this come from? Where? Why are you upset because I said I'm not going to say Kyle's name? What did he do to me? What did he do to Da'Vonne? What did he do to me? And you, with the knowledge, knowing that your dude is trying to get me out of this game, you know Paulie is on board with taking out the UK people, starting with Bear, who I'm attached to. You really have the audacity to fix your lips and question my loyalty? Ma'am, look. Ma'am. So I leave the tribunal ceremony, and now it's time for me to prepare to go. Oh, no, it's not. We go to the club. I got to talk about this whole Georgia thing. Oh, my gosh. So we go out. Everyone's having a good time. Me and Bear are taking all the shots, okay? This is how we're bonding to make up for what happened in that tribunal ceremony. I'm buying him shots. He buying me shots. Like, we're having a good night, okay? Trying to mend this partnership because we've accepted the fact that we are going into elimination, okay? So we need to be on one accord. We need to be back to Team Dab, okay? Right now, it's Da'Vonne and Bear, and we need to get that Dab back, okay? So, we're having a good time, you know, everything is cool. We've accepted our fate. You know, we knew that D and West were going to vote for us. We just didn't know who the third vote was. We kind of figured it was going to be Nany because I was confident that Turbo wasn't going to say our name. Cara, I was confident that she wasn't going to say our name either before the tribunal ceremony. But once the tribunal ceremony happened and all of this stuff came out about Kyle, I was just like, well, damn, I don't know what she going to do. But I had to be confident in the fact that she was more loyal to Theo and would respect his wishes of not saying Bear's name on top of her hatred for Kyle. So I felt like those two things would surpass her desire to want to say me and Bear's name, right? So that's what I was banking on with that. And then, yeah, you know, like I said, there were no ties with me to Nany like that. Like, we were cool, but again, we had never been like, okay, well, I'm not going to say you, you're not going to say, like, it wasn't, we didn't have that. So, you know, it was, we just knew it was going to be us. So that night we were having our drinks or whatever. So Bear puts me to the side and he's like, look, I want to tell you something. And I'm like, what's up? And so he was like, we're going to do the biggest blind side, and he's doing all this extra shit. You know, Bear got the theatrics down packed. So he's just talking, and then he lets me know that he wants to call out Georgia and Hunter. So I'm all types of confused, all types of shook, all types of what the hell are you talking about right now? Like, you can see it on my face. I was like, what? What is coming out of your mouth right now? Like, that's your whole ass woman in this. What is happening? At this point, Kyle has come over. And when Kyle comes over, then Bear starts talking to Kyle about it. But he's talking really loud. I'm like, shut up. Like, you know, what's his name? Hunter is right there and he's going to be able to hear you. Like, shut up. You know what I'm saying? So I decided to walk away from the table and let them just talk like them two. I'm going to go get in front of Hunter so Hunter don't really be looking, trying to read Bear's lips, right? But I'm too late. Hunter done already got wind of what's going on. So now Hunter wants to confront Bear. No, I think he confronted Georgia or one of them. He confronted one of them. And now it's this big ass argument. I just wanted to have some drinks, eat some chicken, have some French fries, and, you know, enjoy the night. But now they fight. And then Hunter done said some crazy shit to Georgia. I ain't gonna talk about that because that ain't none of my business. But it's a lot going on right now. And I'm trying to calm Georgia down. And I'm trying to tell Bear to be quiet. But Bear is on 9,000 right now, okay? He is on 9,000. And the fact that he is he has Hunter all revved up. Like, Hunter is like hot. And the fact that he's doing that, Bear is feeding off of that. Like, that's exactly the energy that Bear needed, right? Whew, my gosh. I didn't really realize how much stuff went down in this episode pertaining to me and Bear. Like, until I started doing this recap, I didn't know it was this much stuff that went down. But, oh, let me get into this elimination because, child. So we get there and all of the votes go as expected. We get to Nany, who is now the swing vote, and she decides she wants to send me and Bear to the killing floor. Cool, no problem. So as we're walking down the stairs to go down there or whatever, I turn to Bear. I'm like, you ready to do this? And he's like, yeah. So who we picking? I said, what you mean who we picking? And he's like, who are we going to put down there? I'm like, yo, you just made this grand announcement last night at the bar that you wanted to go after Georgia and Hunter. Now you asking me who are we picking? He goes, come on, Da'Vine, you know I can't do that to Georgia. So what are we going to do? I was like, oh my gosh. Like, my partner is a trip, okay? He is a trip. He was a pain in my everything, okay? So we get down to the killing floor and TJ asks us, who are we gonna pick? And so keep in mind, walking into the elimination, you usually can determine who you're gonna call out based on what the elimination is, okay? But when we got there, it was just a big ass rope. Okay, so we knew we were going to be inside of the rope, but the pole wasn't out there yet. So we didn't know, like, it wasn't no puzzle, what no balls, what no nothing. You know what I'm saying? It literally was just a rope and some dirt. So we didn't know what was going to happen. So when we get down there, Bear says Jenna and Gus. And I'm like, hold on. Like, ain't nothing out here. What if this is like, we got to pull this rope or some type of endurance? Because, you know, facts are facts. Jenna's endurance level is through the roof and out of this world. Okay? That girl got some endurance in her. Okay? So I already knew if it was going to be something like that, if we running or having to pull this rope, like she was going to win or whatever. And he was like, no, he said, I think this is going to be a headbanger. I think this is going to be physical. And if it is, I'm confident I can take Gus and I'm confident you can take her. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to trust your gut. I'm going to go ahead and trust your gut. I ran him Jenna's stats, though. I was like, listen, this girl is good in eliminations, okay? I said, I don't know nothing about Gus. I said, but this one right here? And he was like, I'm sure, Da'Vine, I got confidence in you. I was like, okay, partner, I ain't gonna let you down. So we go back to TJ. Bear says to Nany, we're gonna call out your best friend, calls out Gus and Jenna, and they come downstairs. They're livid. Gus is highly pissed off, but he's also excited because this is an opportunity for him to prove himself. You know, a lot of people was giving him shit after that challenge where he messed up his lips. So he felt like this was the opportunity to show them like, yo, I belong here. Like, let me show you guys that I can do this, right? So they come down to the killing floor and it's go time. And what they did not show was me and Jenna actually started this thing off. We actually went like 3 or 4 rounds before they was like, okay, neither one of you guys are going to let go of this pole. So let's just go to the guys round. Cause we were holding that thing solid. You know, neither one of us were letting it go. And TJ kept having to stop and restart. Stop and restart because we weren't letting it go. Like we could have been out there all day. You feel what I'm saying? So after like 3 or 4 times of them stopping us and restarting us, they were like, you know what? We're just going to go to the guys. So what they show you in the episode is the guys starting the elimination, right? Okay, so TJ blows the horn and Bear and Gus start going at it. And I mean going at it. Gus is headbutting Bear all in the head and the neck and the shoulders and anywhere he can to try to make Bear let this pole go. But Bear is standing solid and holding on to this thing, right? He ain't letting it go. So they're wrestling or whatever. They get on the ground and I don't know what the hell Gus was doing, but he did some type of weird ass wiggle trying to get Bear to let the pole go and ended up letting it go. Like completely released the pole from both of his hands. And we was just like, what was that? What are you doing? So that was 1 point for us. And so now it's time for me and Jenna to go back in there and do it again. Now, mind you, me and her done already did 3 or 4 rounds. So we both are like tired as hell and really just want to get this thing over with, right? So let me explain my mindset going into this thing, okay? This is my very first like elimination like this. Keep in mind, this is only my 2nd season, okay? And my 1st season, we weren't doing eliminations like this. They were nothing like this, okay? And this is my first time having to really get physical one-on-one in an elimination like this. You know, my first one-on-one was against Shailene, but we weren't even really against each other. We were pulling the sandbags, you know, there was no physical contact. It was none of that. So this is my first one actually having to be physical. You know what I'm saying? So going into this elimination, I already know Jenna's endurance level. You know what I'm saying? I just needed to learn her strength. How strong is she? And then I also needed to know her techniques. Like, what different moves are you going to be using while we're out here? I'm trying to learn my opponent. You know how you go into boxing, when you go into that ring, you know, you're going to sacrifice a couple hits because you're trying to learn your opponent. Like, you don't go in there and just like start jabbing like, like, no, like, let me see what you got. You feel what I'm saying? Take a couple hits and then it's like, all right, I got you. Now let me go ahead and work you. That was my mindset going into this elimination. So now in those first 3 or 4 rounds, I really didn't get to see all of that. You know what I mean? Because we just kept falling to the ground and then TJ would blow the whistle. We go back to the ground and then TJ would blow the whistle. So now I'm like, damn, something has to happen. Especially now that Bear done already made this 1 point. I have to win this round. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So TJ blows the whistle. We're holding on to the pole. And so we're kind of just like dancing around each other or whatever. And then I did something. I don't know what it was. I don't know how I ended up like with my hands over her back or whatever. But once she did that, I think somebody yelled to her, crouch down or whatever, and she crouched down, and then I guess her instincts was like, flip her over. So when she did that, again, I'm learning her techniques. I just followed through, like, all right, let's go. So once I flipped over or whatever, I held the pole close to me, and my first like mindset was to put the pole close to my chest and then just snatch her down on her back. If she fall on her back, she'll let the pole go. But I said, no, let me just learn her. Let me learn her. So I'm holding on to the pole. She doing all these different moves. And then once she starts to become repetitious, now at this point, I know her endurance level. I know how strong she is because she done flipped me. So I know she's strong enough to flip me. But then now I also know she's ran out of moves. Now she's starting to repeat them. Now I got her locked. Now I can take this thing from her. So now that I have all of that in my system, as you can see, right after that, I took the pole away from her. So I'm like, all right, that's 2 points for us. You know, now it's time for the guys to go back in. So I'm like, Bear, this you. It's a wrap. Like, this you. Bear loses this round, and I'm pissed off because I literally had nothing left. Like, I didn't want to do this anymore. Like, me and Jenna went way more rounds than the boys did. So I'm tired. I got asthma. Like, my arms hurting. I'm tired. I don't want to do this shit no more. So Bear comes up to me as I'm getting ready to go into the ring with Jenna, and he's showing me his hands, and his hands are shaking, like he's trembling. And he's like, Da'Vonne, I can't do another round of this, so you have to win. And I'm looking in his eyes, and I'm looking at his hands, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't have a choice, because if it's up to him, we gonna lose. So I'm like, all right. So I go in there, and me and Jenna, we go another round, right? At this time, I think I had lost focus of the actual elimination because I was too busy paying attention to all of the people. Like, if you pay attention to the scene, you'll see me looking up into the stands. I started paying attention to all of the people who were rooting against me, all of the people who were cheering against me. And a lot of the people who were cheering against me were people I did not expect. Okay, a lot of the people who were shouting down techniques and different moves and stuff to Jenna were people I was not expecting to be throwing that shit down to her. So I'm watching all of this, but this is like, you know how you're present in a space, but mentally you're not there? And that's what was happening. Like, Jenna was doing all of this shit trying to take the pole away from me, but I was just like holding the pole solid, and mentally I was in a space of looking at all of these people like, wow, you guys think I'm about to lose. Like, y'all have really packed my bags, and so y'all out here cheering for her. Okay, cool. And so when Wes made the comment, when he was like, put your knee in her face, that's what made me snap out of whatever trance I was in that moment. And he was like, yeah, push her. And I'm like, what? Put her knee in my face. Now, what they didn't show you is I'm on the ground holding the pole. Jenna is on top of me doing whatever she's doing, trying to get the pole away from me. But I'm laying there and I'm looking Wes in his face, and I'm saying, for real? In my face? In my face? I'm saying this while I'm laying on the ground holding on to the pole. Like, I'm not even like worried about shit Jenna doing right now, because my anger has my strength locked. Like, my hands are locked on this pole, so I know she's not taking it from me. But for real? And so I'm arguing with him while I'm on the killing floor holding this pole. The thing that kind of pissed me off was all this time he had been saying, Da'Vonne, my problem is not with you. I don't have an issue with you. My issue is with Bear. If you were playing this game by yourself, then me and you would probably be in an alliance together. But I can't align with you because I don't like Bear. You feel what I'm saying? All this energy, he's been saying all of this energy is for Bear, right? So the fact that I don't hear you saying nothing violent like that when it comes to Bear and Gus, you feel what I'm saying? But I'm down here, the person you don't have a problem with, and you're telling this young lady to put her knee in my face, not my shoulder, not my leg, my thigh, my face? What does she need to put her knee in my face for? You feel what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand. I don't get, why would you yell that to her to do to me? Especially when there was no issue between you and I. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you were coming for our team to get us out. Okay, fine. But there was no issue between me and you strong enough for you to tell this young lady to put her knee in my face. I don't care what elimination we're doing. I don't care what game we're playing. Her knee in my face? Are you serious right now? So that triggered something in me. That woke up Destruction. Okay, Destruction was alive and well. And see, the reason I was not that fired up and that angry at first is because I don't have a problem with Jenna. You feel what I'm saying? So I didn't feel like I was going into a death match because I don't have an issue with Jenna. Shit, we was cracking jokes on the sideline in between turns. Like, oh my gosh, I really hope the boys pull this out because I don't want to go back in. Like, me and her was down there cracking jokes. You feel me? So there was no animosity between me and her. So this knee in the face caught me off guard, and I snapped into, I don't know who, some other person, and I said, I gotta get this win. I have to get this win. Ain't no way in hell you gonna tell this girl to put her knee in my face and then she actually sends me home. That's out. That's out. You gonna have to see me when this elimination is over. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what triggered something in me. Me and Jenna went back in there. And that's when y'all see me tossing her. I'm tossing her ass all around that damn ring because I'm trying to get this pole from her. Let me tell you something. Jenna ain't she ain't the little skinny she's small, but it's a lot of strength in that package, okay? Taking that pole away from her was not easy. She gave me a run for my money, but at the end, I ended up taking it away from her, and we won again on the killing floor. And best moment ever, I'm on the ground trying to get my breath, asking them to bring out my inhaler, and Bear comes and covers me, and he's kissing me all over my face and all over my everything, and I'm like, Bear, I can't breathe, like, tell them to go get my inhaler. And he goes, oh, and then he got up and he went and got my inhaler and came back. Like, it was good. It was really good. And, you know, we got the relic. And we're safe for the next week, you know, and it felt good. It felt really, really good to win another elimination and to win against someone like Jenna, someone who has a name in this game. Like I said on the after show, when she came down to the killing floor, I said, this is going to go one or two ways. One, a legend is going to take me out, or two, I'm going to take out a legend. You know what I'm saying? And I got to take out a legend. So that felt really good. Definitely props to Jenna. She did her shit. But yeah, you guys, that is pretty much how this episode ends. Oh my gosh, that was a lot. So with all of that being said, if you liked this video, make sure you like this video or this audio. And until my next video or audio, I love you guys so much and thank you for your constant love and support. I'm out.